What the hell just happened? Normally when it's that bright, I'm hungover.
Are we dead? Because heaven was supposed to be nicer.
We were trying to get to Dr. Faber's lab.
Yeah, we smacked into a bunch of rifters.
And everything went white.
Oh, what the hell? There's more?
Dylan, look out!
Hello! Monsters Abound here. Every Day We Fight is a video game that asks the questions, what if you could save? It's not exactly a new prospect in video games, but the idea of a story-based time loop or save point is quite interesting, and it's not often explored all that much. Outer Wild and Majora's Mask come to mind, and both of those use it in a really interesting way. So, save points are hardly a new prospect, and I mean, we have roguelikes, and that is kind of a time loop, and so in many respects, this is kind of like a roguelike XCOM. Each time you die, you restart with resources and experience kept, but in a completely new run. Or at least you might do, because this is a demo, so I'm not 100% sure if missions stay completed, but I guess we'll find that out later. So this is a new XCOM game from Signal Space Lab and Hooded Horse, a game where you can save. What? Save in an XCOM game? Yeah, I know your dirty little secret. I know your Iron Man campaign is a filthy lie. Oh, your star character gets ambushed by a pod of enemies and shot to death. Oh no, did the game just crash? Oh, well, look, it's fine. We all do it. We can all wallow in this shallow pit of shame together. But Every Day We Fight asks, what if that was just part of the game? So, long story short, aliens arrive and start digging up some weird blue shit. They've frozen the entire city in a dome. It's a city on a planet. It does not appear to be Earth per se, but it might be an alternate dimension, as that angle might be coming into play. The year seems to be around the 1950s-60s at a rough estimate, and the freeze ray / dome seems to have discorporated most of the people in the city, but some have managed to escape by happenstance and formed a resistance called the Thorns. The Thorns are not doing so well, and the last cell, a threesome called Vivian, Dylan and Leo, are desperately attempting to make their way to a lab where a scientist is being held captive and forced to work on the Rifters, that's the alien invaders, technology. Why is a human scientist being forced to work on alien tech? No idea. Why are the resistance only just now thinking to do something about this? Also no idea. Basically, this whole resistance thing feels very poorly thought out, which is probably why there's only 3 guys left. Each of the Thorns, your characters, are unique, and they have their own personality, story, and so on. They're actually really well done, and later on, after the tutorial, you can wander around the occupied city and find places of interest which the characters will comment on. This usually unlocks some personal lore about them as an aside, and the voices and characterization are genuinely really good. So the idea is that these 3 suddenly gain the ability to either rewind time or jump dimensions or something, because it's not explained, at least yet, and you can take the fight back to the Rifters. So let's start off with the tutorial, which is pretty good as tutorials go. It jumps you right into the action. The first thing to note is that combat is quite the jump forward from XCOM. You can move during the enemy turn if you have movement remaining. This scramble move can allow you to dodge grenades and potentially enemy fire. If someone manages to flank you, you can always dodge around the corner. Of course, you may take some fire during the dash to safety. Oh, the shooting. Ever been annoyed that aiming a shotgun at a sectoid face gives you a 60% chance to hit? Worry no more, because we have actual aimed fire and timed fire. Yes, you aim and you shoot when you want. Now, I believe this is not the first time it's been done, but it does feel really good. Aiming at body parts is a thing. Some enemies have armor, and say for example targeting their helmet knocks it off, which means you can get at their squishy inner head. Headshots count, and you can lead with your aiming if someone's running. If they're scrambling away, you need to try and actually hit them with your gun, which is really good. I love this. I love everything about this. This is great.
My turn.
You can throw grenades and enemies will dodge. If they can. If they can't, well, good night, Vienna.
One's still standing. Leave it to me. Just need to get a better angle.
You can switch shoulders while aiming, lean over objects, giving you better sight of your target, but it can make you more of a target to anyone currently on Overwatch. Still, it's nice you don't just end up staring at a wall.
Nice work, Viv. Now let's make sure we're alone.
The last known position of enemies can be seen as a little hologram, so you can actually have a general idea of where they were. This is a cover shooter, so get used to hiding behind chest-high walls, which are handily scattered around. You can also zoom, which shrinks the reticule and lowers bullet spread, but it does cost more AP to fire. You can switch between your 3 guys anytime you want, which is handy, as sometimes you'll want to flush an enemy towards another one of your guys to catch them in a crossfire. Once combat is over, you can freely move around the map to explore. This reminds me a bit of Lamplighters League, which I still maintain is a great game. You can hop over certain objects and jump off things, climb ladders and so on. Later on you can wander the city and you will have some exploration and puzzle solving to do. Blowing up gas tanks can move objects and make holes in walls, while shooting locks off doors will allow you to open them if they are locked. The puzzle solving isn't huge, but it's a nice change of pace from the combat.
Hey.
This whole section is just to give you some nice exposition, so I'll shut up.
See what it does.
Well, that worked. Let's go.
Oh, hey! Bandages. It's my lucky day.
Let's see if we can't patch you up.
So, Vivian, you work for Dr. Faber.
Yeah?
Did you ever meet her?
My team gave a presentation. She asked the most terrifying, out of left field, why didn't we think of that questions? I managed to answer some, so she put me on her team. My lord, she's smart.
I guess we'd better save her then.
Mess reminds me of my sister's bedroom.
We're gonna have to find a way around all this.
Or through it. Somehow. With a big enough explosion, this comes down.
Got eyes on a gas tank. One shot and I think it blows a hole in that wall. That is a very satisfying bit of controlled demolition.
You ever have the same dream more than once?
I dreamed this was all a dream, and I woke up and everything was okay.
I dreamed I was a rifter once, and I knew what elixir was. Wish I still remembered.
You ever wonder what they felt when they froze?
I hope they didn't know it was coming. I hope they're not still there, looking out their eyeballs, which they can't move.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Dylan. Of course they're not still there. It's horrible.
Dome. Frozen people. The way the rifters can make holes in the air. Can't see a pattern.
Maybe there is no pattern, just a big, universal, colossal mess.
There's always a pattern. They just don't want you to see it.
You're one of those tinfoil hat conspiracy guys, aren't you?
Don't knock tinfoil hats. Dome didn't freeze me, did it?
Were you wearing one when the dome went up?
Well, no. But I could have been.
Guys, rifters in the parking lot. Engineers.
And guardians. But inside, who knows?
We better take these ones out so they don't follow us inside.
You know, gas canisters don't only work on walls. Just saying.
Gotta say, Leo, sometimes you're not a complete tool.
Hello, Rips!
Leave the left side to me.
Our first real combat, and we're going to learn about Overwatch. Overwatch allows you to trigger an Overwatch during the enemy's turn if they run into view. This effectively allows you to pop off some shots at them as they run. I gotta say, the combat is very satisfying. It just feels good.
Let's not hold back!
Shit. Careful, Dylan. Fuck's sake.
Let's clear him out of the lot! Let's not have any more surprises!
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Watching for them this way. Hello there. Riffs never learn.
Damn it! We got more rifters popping in!
Shithead down.
What is that thing?
You think you'll kill me again? Ah,
What son of a...
And we get blasted and sent back in time. But according to this guy, not for the first time.
I mean, I guess I'm alive. Because everything hurts.
That weird rifter shows up and mocks us. Then boom!
Yeah. When the hell did they learn English? And why did it say again?
Also, we're not in the parking lot anymore. And it's a bright sunny day.
We'll figure it out. Right now we gotta get to the lab and rescue Dr. Faber, right?
And find us some more guns. We seem to have misplaced ours.
Are you wounded again, Dylan? How'd you get hurt?
We all got killed, remember? Why aren't you hurt?
Yeah, but the exact same wound?
Hold up. Didn't we blast that van out of the way?
We could shoot it again, I guess.
Let's move. A couple of bandages and a grenade. Weren't we here before? And there was just one set of bandages?
And we grabbed it, right? Why is anything here? That's weird, right?
Not as weird as we died, but we're not dead anymore.
I'm right though, right? Karg said again.
Karg.
That's what I'm calling him, because he said, Karg, you won't kill me again.
I thought he was calling us Karg.
Point is, he thought we killed him before. I don't remember killing him. Do you?
There was a white light. I don't know.
Look, there's those guns we lost.
And there? Guess we don't have to blow a hole in the wall again.
You disappointed? Grab what you can carry and let's go. Guys, the bus isn't where it was. There's no way we're making that jump now.
What do you want to do?
You ever wonder if someone put chips in our brains? Now they're changing our memories.
No, Leo.
I see a gas canister by the bus's back wheel. Maybe we can shoot it free.
that did it. Come on. There's our frozen friends. I guess some things don't change.
Poor souls. 1 minute you're putting your food in the freezer, then...
Then you're frozen. Funny. I get it. Clever. Can we talk about something else, please?
I hope we're right, and Dr. Faber isn't frozen too.
You said the Rifters have stuff she was designing in her lab. So they gotta be making her work for them, right?
Okay, guys. We're almost at the parking lot.
These Rifters are patrolling. But not the same patterns. But they don't seem to remember what happened.
I don't see that rift that killed us. Karg, was it?
Yeah, Karg. Glad it's catching on.
Let's just kill the ones that we can see. And be ready for Karg.
I gotta say, I'm glad they don't have eyes.
Yeah, but they sense us. They'll lay into us before our pants hit our ankles.
Okay, stay low and quiet.
And spread out. Get them in a crossfire.
And maybe save some gas canisters for Karg.
Surprise, Rifters!
How'd you like that?
Nicely done! Vengeance is sweet!
Keeping an eye out here.
Fährt von, Jethrondinger. Sesnes de Sukov Sitjao.
There you are.
I genuinely really love the combat in this game, except for one part, but we'll get to that. So, we set up a little ambush, and away we go. This is not my first time doing a tutorial, and I feel like I've definitely improved.
There's more where that came from. My eyes are peeled.
Feels good, doesn't it? Ready for them here!
If it moves, I'll kill it.
I got one! Got one! Heads up, could be Karg coming in. There it is.
Do I really have to kill you again? This time stay dead.
Incoming!
So Karg returns, but this time we dodge him.
You're outmatched, you can't win.
He really is shouting at us in English, right?
Really good English.
Let's shut it up then.
Got this one.
The nice Overwatch takes off some of his armor, and he goes on Overwatch, which enemies will, and often do, and you can see where they will attack, as long as you can see them. If they're like around a corner or something, you won't be able to see their Overwatch cone. It should be noted, and this is quite important, that if you're on Overwatch, you cannot scramble, so he ain't dodging this grenade. With the grenade knocking all of his armor off and leaving him in the nuddy, he's pretty easy to take out.
Got it. Karg's down.
How did I let you kill me again?
We killed him before? When?
But we get sent back again.
God damn, that hurt.
It's morning now. And we're back on the bridge?
I think we jumped back in time.
We what?
Jump back to the last time we were here.
But Vivian, it's a different time of day. Totally different weather.
I don't know, maybe it's a different timeline, but earlier?
Okay. How?
Could be something to do with the dome. Or the portals. I don't know. Dr. Faber could tell us, I bet.
Then let's go get her. While I quietly freak out. We get killed, go back to earlier. We kill Karg, and go back again.
We don't know if killing Karg was what made us go back. We've only killed him once.
What did you mean we're jumping between different timelines?
If we were going back in time, everything would be exactly the same. But each time, something's different. Theory says there could be multiple timelines, all running parallel. The closest ones are like ours, mostly the same things happen. Farther out, things get weird.
What? Nobody in the parking lot?
Where'd they all go?
Maybe Karg didn't like getting killed so much.
Hopefully they're not waiting for us inside that building. And hopefully Dr. Faber is.
Well, let's get inside before Karg changes his mind. He shows up.
I'm starting to think we'll never get rid of these clumps of Elysium.
As near as I can tell, those incrustations are made of crystallized Elysium.
Try blowing them up. Nothing works.
I think the Rifters have some kind of frequency resonator that breaks them apart.
Like when someone sings real high and everyone's wine glasses break?
I think the Rifters are using something like that to clear the incrustations off their harvesters.
You think if we make one, we could make these ugly things go away?
Let's get back home. I have an idea.
This time, though, no one home. But apparently some blue shit is blocking the door, so rather than say, use a window, we decide to go home. I think I know the reason why this resistance isn't doing so well.
We don't have to make a frequency resonator. We can steal one from the rifts. I triangulated on some radio waves. They're coming from a frequency resonator like we need. I'm pretty sure it's at the Rugosa Hotel.
Well, we're not doing any good here in the sewers.
And if the timeline jumping stops, we die for real. So if we're gonna get killed, let's go now.
So home is the sewers. It's good enough for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's good enough for me.
Okay, people.
Each run that
Whatever
you
you want to do
start
in the
after dying, you will get a random selection of equipment. For example, I once got 3 shotguns. You can find other bits, bandages, grenades, and later on, as you find additional equipment, they can also spawn. Our first objective is to get rid of that blue shit by getting some alien tech from a hotel. Our first real mission.
There's the hotel. I figure they'll start shooting at us pretty soon.
I guess it's time to case the joint.
What's that mean?
Leo's seen too many old movies, is what it means.
It means we need to get up close and personal with the hotel so we don't get any surprises when we go in.
The signal I'm reading is pretty strong. Resonator's gotta be in there.
You can move around the city and explore the area, finding secret stashes and better equipment lying around. Once you unlock this, you can craft it using scrap, which you can also find lying around. There are also groups of rifters, the enemies hanging around, which are indicated by blue combat areas. Fighting them seems worthless, as you might get a little bit of scrap, but you're also generating heat. Heat will cause stronger enemies to spawn when you fight, enemies with better equipment, and just generally making your life harder. And trust me, you don't need to make your life harder. I do like the exploration, although it does not feel particularly rewarding. It often feels frustrating that I struggle to reach anything other than scrap. I always felt like there was a door that I obviously couldn't get through because I needed something to do that, or there was blue shit in the way, which is obviously what I need to do the hotel for. I always felt like I needed to do the hotel, and well, I'd already tried that several times. So there are plenty of places you can't go and items you can't collect because you need some story item to get them, such as the resonator, which is at the hotel. So let's go to the hotel. Okay, right. I'm not going to lie. I was 100% into this game right up to the hotel.
Huh. I thought the place was going to be crawling with rifters. Hear that? They're all inside.
Fair enough. You expect tourists in a hotel?
They're not going to let us sneak in and steal the resonator peaceable like.
No, we're gonna take them out first and then grab it.
The hotel, as a first real mission, is fucking brutal. Now, I've been told they did want it to be tricky, which is absolutely fine. I respect their creative choices. However, Jesus H. Christ, my dudes. Okay, so the hotel mission goes like this. You enter the hotel and set up your first attack. There are 2 enemies wandering the lobby and 1 up on the back balcony. So far, so good, and the likelihood is you're going to be able to take all of these 3 out in one go.
Need to be careful. That's for the ones we lost. You had it coming.
We got it coming! Could be Karg!
Then the first wave of reinforcements swarm. The first wave has some engineers who are, trash,
It's not Karg.
and some grenadiers. And here is where the problem for me starts. Grenadiers are horrible. They are heavily armoured, which means they can soak up a ton of damage, but the worst bit is they one-hit kill you. They can lob grenades, and unless you scramble, you're dead. They can also blow you away with a volley of fire. To make matters worse, more reinforcements spawn a couple of turns later. This leads to a particularly brutal combat experience, quite a large step up in difficulty from the tutorial. Now, I do fully understand the preface of this game is live, die, repeat, and I was fully expecting to die the first time and the second time. And indeed, those attempts did teach me stuff, like Overwatch is a trap. You can't scramble when you're on Overwatch. Do you know what you need to do when a heavily armoured dude with a grenade comes lumbering around the corner? Yeah, because you ain't going to be able to kill him with Overwatch. But 8 more attempts later, and I was wondering what the hell I was doing wrong. Am I just bad at this game? No, it's the children who are wrong. But no, seriously, I was just continually getting blown away and thinking I had missed something. Now, you will level up even if you die, so you can unlock new skills. Each character has specific skills. Vivian is absolutely the best girl. She totes a shield, which protects her from enemy fire, and a hologram she can throw out, which is amazingly useful at getting people to not shoot you in the face. Dylan, on the other hand, has a reactive punch. Fair enough. So anyone runs nearby, he can rush out and Hayadouken, what's the thing where the Hayadouken them to death,
Take a load off.
leaving him often completely in the open and very open to dying. You can upgrade that punch to include a smokescreen-like effect, but I did try that and it didn't seem to do anything. Leo, on the other hand, can give people AP, which I guess is handy. So, after a few attempts at the hotel and much wandering around the city trying to work out if I'd missed the super secret MacGuffin which would make the hotel a sane experience, I decided I wasn't going to get past that mission and just record some footage of me getting blown away. But I actually managed to complete it. And now you're thinking, aha! He was just bad at the game! Well, maybe. I can't rule that out. But I also found a couple of exploits that helped me get past it. For some reason, on this attempt, the AI really struggled to shoot my hologram to the point where one of the grenadiers literally gave up on life and proceeded to run up to it and suicide grenade the thing and himself at the same time. Second, I found a wall that the AI thought it could shoot through and could not, which allowed me to squeak through that combat encounter using exploits. I was still down to 1 character, I barely made it through, and I had to use exploits to do it. I wouldn't call that rewarding. It felt like relief, but it didn't feel like shit yeah go me. By the way, they apparently fixed the exploit of the wall, so good fucking luck. Now, I don't want you to think I'm down on this game, because I'm not. It's really fun. I want to play more. The fact I kept coming back despite having my face stamped on is a testament to that. But I do question making the first mission quite that hard. Tutorials teach you the basic mechanics, but the first few missions should show you how the game wants to be played. And the game repeatedly kicking you in the balls is a bold play.
This is what we came for, right?
Yep, now let's get the hell out of here.
Wait a second. This key, it has our emblem on it. The thorn. It's a thorn key.
Could be a key to a safe house, like the one we found.
The one you didn't want to tell me about.
Let's get over to it and restock while we can. We won't last long with what we got on us. You think the Rifters are some kind of hive organism?
Like bees, with queens and drones and workers and stuff.
How'd you figure that?
They seem to have different roles, especially Karg.
Yeah, he speaks our language. Maybe he's some kind of brain.
I'll give him an algebra test. Let you know how he does.
Maybe you'll get your chance soon.
Anyway, once you've completed that mission, you get a key to a safe house in the city. You can then unlock that door and get access to the stash chest, which allow you to get additional stuff in return for completing certain objectives during the missions. Although, quite how you're supposed to do that while the Rifters are using your laser-riddled bodies for target practice without just accidentally completing them at the time, I'm not sure. I do also think this feels a bit gamey. I realise this is a game, but I mean, it feels like a bit of an arbitrary mechanic to reward you chests based on completing random objectives. Like, who's rewarding these keys? God? Why is he creating these stash chests filled with muzzles and scopes? Doesn't he have anything better to do? It kind of takes me out of the world. It's a minor complaint, but, you know, it's just something that felt weird to me. In the safe house, you will also find the crafting bench, which allows you to craft pieces of equipment for all that scrap you've been saving up. Scrap carries through even if you die, which gives you the ability to unlock new bits of equipment and craft them, giving you a bit of a power boost. Now, I do have a concern that if you're in the midst of a run with some really good equipment and get nuked from orbit, you'll feel the need to trudge around the city looting scrap to replace those bits. We'll only be able to tell how that's going to work once the game is fully out. The city exploration is fun, but will it be fun the third time you have to do it? With that said, I am still genuinely very excited by this game. I love me some turn-based combat, and the self-aiming and shooting works really well. I'm not sure I want to go back to a percentage-based point and target XCOM game now. It's like playing Bannerlords and its directional sword fighting and then going back to Skyrim and clicking a button to attack with a sword. So the game itself is out on the 10th of July, which isn't too far away, so if you like the looks of this, absolutely pop over to Steam and stick this on your wish list. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.